What's happening there, Reject Nation? Greg and John here. Today we are going to watch some new Rockstars She-Hulk trailer Easter eggs and break down some goodies to be had for sure. If you can leave a like, that'd be great. Hulk smash that subscribe button to get notified when our next reactions for anything that you're interested are up here. Yeah, let's get to it.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and this is a breakdown of the new trailer for She-Hulk on Disney+, starring Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, attorney at law, cousin to Bruce Banner, and someone for whom my admiration, I swear to you, remains wholesome professional respect. Pervert! About the CGI, we just may be better off in the uncanny valley right now, because if this looked too lifelike, major portions of the productivity in America would have come to a screeching halt when this trailer dropped. From the return of Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky Abomination to Frogman sightings, and precisely why the CGI might be a little off in some spots, I'm gonna break down this trailer frame by frame for the details that you missed. Let's go.
Being a superhero is a trial by fire. Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
So we open on the LA skyline, already a bit of a change of the pace for the MCU, which hasn't really been in the modern day LA area since Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
We hear the
I've
voice
been
of
saying
Bruce
that a
Banner
lot.
giving the hero talk to his cousin Jennifer as a fancy event comes under siege. This actually looks like the event that Jen later in this trailer attends in her nice dress. And now outside, we see these armored soldiers carrying these interesting looking weapons. These actually look like a smaller handheld version of the Sonic
From the Incredible Hulk,
that General Ross used on Hulk in the 2008 film, which according to that movie's opening credits actually came from a Stark Industries design. These showed up later equipped on the Stark drones in Spider-Man Far From Home, and War Machine's suit had a version of this in Civil War. In this case, it looks like a defensive measure used against Hulk-powered threats, maybe She-Hulk or Titania. And then we see this gang carrying some interesting weapons.
Love that blue tint.
A crossbow. What kind of threat are they facing, if not a supernatural one, like vampires or werewolves? There's an eccentric mix of tones in this trailer, perhaps reflecting this series format as a 9-episode half-hour legal comedy, with Jen taking on a new case of the week each week, which all could showcase a different aspect of the Marvel world. Vampires specifically have come up more and more, like in Loki and Eternals. Eternals, of course, introduced Blade in its post-credit scene. We saw a crossbow in Sanctum Undercroft in Spider-Man.
True.
This October is going to be Werewolf by Night Halloween special.
So excited.
It just seems like a very apt place to introduce these different things.
That's so funny because a lot of us were feeling like the She-Hulk trailer seemed to be the lightest of them all and not really a game changer of sorts. But if this ends up being that half-hour comedy show that introduces a new quality of the MCU every time, this could be one of the most expansive live-action series yet to come, which would be very unexpected from its first look in all honesty. But yeah, based off of the weapons that we're seeing here and kind of that neo-noir vampire blade-ish type of look and vibe. I mean, I guess so. Sure, why not? Let's go there. Let's go all out.
This gang may also be the Wrecking Crew from the comics, also known for wielding crowbars, or they could just be another group of guys carrying weird shit. Then we see a car wreck, which might be part of the inciting incident of Jen's transformation. Now in the comics, Jennifer Walters, as a prosecutor cracking down on organized crime, ends up getting targeted by the mafia and shot, leaving to her cousin Bruce having to give her a transfusion. And that blood is how she ends up getting her Hulk powers. However, later in this trailer, Jen appears outside that car looking at the dark reflection in the dented car door, and she already begins to transform.
She's already surrounded by
maybe she got
greed.
a transfusion before this, or it may just be innate to her family DNA, perhaps activated by that shockwave of gamma radiation when Hulk snapped everyone back in Endgame, which is something that Hulk indicated.
The radiation's mostly gamma. It's like, I was made for this.
So the uniqueness of Banner's blood that initially reacted to the gamma radiation in a specific way to turn him into Hulk may be the same unique DNA trait that is also in Jen's blood. And now that everyone on Earth has been hit with gamma radiation, it just caused her to react this specific way. We get a quick shot of Jen's Hulk out physique and athletic
They have
gear.
been bringing up the snap a lot in these
teaser.
shows.
And I just love how she's wearing the white, purple, and black color scheme as she does in her longtime clothes in the comics.
I hate how she's actually in shorts and not like a one piece. Showing up her V line, the V,
the thighs.
I think it's just disrespectful to the source material is where I'm coming from.
It's disrespectful
Nothing else.
to all of the beach culture of the 80s and 90s, workout culture, etc. You know, if you want authenticity, you go with the onesie that reveals the anatomy.
How can we empower women as a guy, I know how. How can we empower women if we don't show off their bodies
Yeah, you
more?
can't cover up people and expect them to feel empowered.
Stupid Marvel.
Moving on.
I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends.
Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency.
A demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
Okay, the Marvel Studios title card turns a bright shade of green. And
Why?
It starts from a little green
Money.
flare of light from beneath Marvel, suggesting that, yeah, it might be a burst of gamma radiation that was the cause of Jen's transformation. Jen introduces
Or just a
us
transition.
to her world. She hangs out with her friend Nikki, played by Ginger Gonzaga. They have open wine bottles all over the house, and the wine bottle to her right is the Velvet Devil label. Stop putting devil fake outs in all your trailers, Marvel. You're just making them angry. Hamilton's Renee
They're all
Elise
aimed
Goldberg
directly
plays
at you.
Amelia. I'm assuming a legal colleague of Jennifer's. In her office is an hourglass because she's obviously a TVA agent. Please click away. If I don't at least mention these things, he punishes me. But it's worth noting that in the comics, She-Hulk represents a variety of clients, working one case in front of the TVA, and another time representing Eros in a sexual assault case.
Oh my.
Probably not gonna be in the MCU.
That's
Josh
how Eros
Simara
gets
plays another
introduced.
employee of this firm. You can see on the screen it shows GLK/H in the same design as the November
Yeah.
title card for this series that thankfully now has been updated because I like this new title way better. GLKH stands for Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, which is the name of Jen's law firm in the 2004 run of the comics by Dan Slott. Now the name Goodman was a reference to Marvel publisher Martin Goodman, Lieber a reference to Stan Lee's actual last name, Stanley Martin Lieber, and Kurtzberg a reference to Jack Kirby's legal last name, Kurtzberg. In the comics, these three partners are never
Are you
shown, which is
ashamed of
why
your last
their three
names?
letters are grouped together. Holloway is the only partner who Jen deals with. When Jen and Nikki get shots, Jen's clothes are actually She-Hulk's color scheme once again. Black blazer, white shirt, green pants, and purple light on her shirt.
I like that random trope where like characters before they get their official outfit, their actual normal everyday attire is already reflective of the color scheme. It's as if they were destined to become them. Just like when Goku went to high school in Dragon Ball Evolution.
That's right, and then eventually got those colors, but on the actual uniform, that orange and blue. He put his hoodie up, and you're like, whoa, oh, it's just like the cartoon. When's that gonna show back up? He's destined for, oh my god.
Then we see this awesome new maximum security facility located in the middle of the desert with high perimeter walls and an energy field fence on the drive-in. This interesting architecture makes me wonder if this could be the MCU version of the Cube, originally a shield black site in the Nevada desert designed to contain gamma irradiated inmates and also became the home base of the Thunderbolts. The patches
Oh,
on the guards
cool.
show a sigil of an
Yeah,
eagle
that
carrying
could
arrows
definitely
that looks a
play
lot
in.
like the US Department of Justice, but this isn't the DODC, that is a different logo, whereas Sword was overseen by Hayward, and now perhaps either Monica Rambeau or Abigail Brand, maybe Nick Fury. The Raft prison was overseen by Secretary of State Thaddeus Ross, RIP William Hurt. This agency may be under the supervision of Val, someone we know was involved in some
goody.
shadowy government agency, and you could totally imagine Julia Louis-Dreyfus showing up in this series.
Yeah, the whole conversation about like Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers has been kind of getting dropped a little bit, but with you bringing up Cube and then even the facility fully representing that, and the fact that we also got Emil Blonsky back in the game. You're wrong. I just want to say you're 100% wrong. There's no way that's possible, Eric. No, you're way off. Way off. It's Mephisto train all over again.
That's right. That's what Mephisto wants you to think it's going to be the Thunderbolts setup, and it's not.
The greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was making you
The Thunderbolts.
think of Thunderbolts.
Back at the firm, Jen's supervisor is Holloway, that being the same Holloway partner of this firm name. And it sounds like they're now branching out to handle cases pertaining to superheroes. The same kind of legal work provided by Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, while I imagine Matt Murdock would stick to the New York area, it's really only a matter of time before these two Marvel lawyers cross paths. So
He
well,
was
they
at
turn
the
Cox shows up
premiere
on show.
for the
That'd be
trailer.
awesome. Now, Holloway specifically wants Jen to be the face of the superhero law division, suggesting that this may come about after her tendency to Hulk out emerges. It looks like one of her clients is Emil Blonsky, aka Abomination, Tim Roth, returning from the 2008 Hulk film. Now remember, Abomination ended that film getting KO'd by Hulk in the Battle of Harlem, and was actually later the planned recruit by S.H.I.E.L.D. for one of the Avengers, until we saw in that Marvel one-shot, Coulson and Selvig used Tony Stark to talk Ross into recruiting Bruce Banner instead. Blonsky was name-dropped in an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., apparently kept in a cold storage
Yeah.
facility in Alaska, and of course we last saw Abomination Abomination and Shang-Chi, sparring with Wong in the Golden Daggers Club of Macau. Actually, when Wong opened that portal to take Abomination back,
that's
the background
right.
room
Oh,
showed
dang.
that this is the
That's
same room that he is
crazy.
now in
Nice.
She-Hulk. Now, Wong is confirmed to appear in this series as well, so we'll likely get some
Wong-a-thons!
why Wong was partnered with Abomination in that movie. Was Wong sneaking him out?
Phase 4 is
or
about
was
Wong.
This approved by the government? I'm wondering if these furloughs were actually part of a deal to train up Abomination as a government soldier as part of Val's Dark Avengers crew, maybe alongside Yelena Belova and John Walker. Maybe Blonsky now wants out of that deal, and that's why he is now lawyering up. Either way, I hope we get some kind of rematch between Hulk and
Yeah.
Abomination in this series.
Yeah, that is really a rematch between them to pull all the focus away from She-Hulk.
The people, what they want.
Yeah. I'm still questioning though, why would they fight in the tournament betting round arena area then?
Yeah, why
If it
wouldn't they
is some
just
type
like?
of training program thingy?
Yeah, why wouldn't they just spar in the facility where he's at instead of going and making a spectacle? Maybe the government needs that extra money. They're like, if Blonsky wins, we keep the earnings. You know.
Yeah, fascinating.
I mean, they're both there. Let's see the fight.
Let them fight.
Moving on.
And a frustrating family.
Cause we didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it.
Okay, Jennifer visits Bruce in his new home on this tropical coastline. Not sure where exactly this is, but later
I was
She-Hulk
gonna
wears
say,
a
it's
shirt
the
reading
Mexico
"I Heart
shirt."
Mexico. So this may be along the Mexican coastline, like the Yucatan. Maybe one of the places Banner stopped during his journey from Brazil to the US in the 2008 film. Let's not forget, all of that happened in the MCU, even though it feels like so long ago. Bruce pulls out a binder, probably containing his research that he conducted over that 18 months in the Gamma Lab that he mentioned in Endgame, when he found some mysterious cure to reach his current balance and control over his Hulk abilities. And he says, "You didn't ask for this." So it really does sound like the series might be suggesting Jen's Hulk powers could start with a unique quality to their family DNA, which is only now activated by a recent burst of gamma radiation. Now, notice how the shots here are taken from two different scenes. One where Hulk is wearing a zip-up hoodie, another where he's wearing this t-shirt. Amazing that he found one
Oh,
that fits him.
good call.
It's got an interesting logo. At first I thought this could be related to S.H.I.E.L.D., but the bolts emanating out of it make me wonder if this could actually be a logo that he made for himself in his gamma radiation, like his new Hulk logo.
I love the idea of Hulk becoming a graphic designer.
Yes. I need to make this symmetrical, simple, but cool.
The first month I figured it all out. It was really the next 17 months where I was working on my designs to rebrand myself in the public eye.
Make myself more personable to people. make a few extra bucks on the side.
Now, the second scene looks like it is part of a meditation session. Like he's like saying, relax, breathe. Hulk could be teaching her how to relax and center herself. Meditation, remember, was a huge part of Bruce's regimen in the 2008 film. Now, we still do not know exactly why Bruce was shown in human form with his arm in a sling in that Shang-Chi post-credit scene, especially now that he's back in Hulk form with his arm completely healed. Kevin Feige told Screen Rant that that sling was intentional, and I have theorized that maybe Hulk depowered to human form to allow himself to give a life-saving transfusion to Jen, but the IMAX aspect ratio of that Shang-Chi post-credit scene showed Banner was also on his other arm wearing a piece of wrist tech with a glowing green piece to it, which now after Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness has come out, kind of reminds us of those cufflinks that were powered by the green sands of
shit.
Nasanti. Those sands depowering the wearer for a certain amount of time. Maybe Wong gave Banner that cuff to depower him so that they could temporarily heal his arm when he was in human form. Because as Hulk, his flesh is otherwise so impenetrable they couldn't really do anything to him. Let's move on.
Transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing. Oh. Bruce, kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Yes, yes, yes. No, no.
Okay,
I do love that.
18 months in, Banner deliberately provokes Jen's anger with this torture device. Their swim gear indicates that this lab is underground, their tropical Mexican home. Now, whereas in the November teaser, the screens beside Banner showed Jen's face, here it shows an X-ray of her brain with the limbic system highlighted. The limbic system is the inner part of the brain that controls emotion. As Banner now says, the Hulk abilities are activated by anger and fear. We flash back to Jen's car accident transformation, and while she can't exactly see a reflection fully, the car paint is green, which masks her own skin color change. And yeah, we see how this chamber is a total death pod, razors spinning, and if you look closely at those razors, when she breaks them especially, you can see they are Stark Industries brand. So this means Tony Stark may have helped Banner set up this Gamma Lab during those 18 months, working alongside him as a lab partner.
And the
to help him
graphic
reach this
design
one
shirt.
person.
I got a great guy, Bruce.
And
Let me
these razors
recommend.
successfully trigger the fear to activate her She-Hulk form. Banner gives these thumbs up up, looking just as he did to encourage the Avengers during their quantum experiment in Endgame. And this experiment is about as much of an absolute win. Next clip.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is?
Jen, you're a story now.
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now.
Okay, we see Jen in what looks like her childhood bedroom.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Midsummer Night's Dream, which is a play all about physical transformation and the sexual arousal that arrives with it. I assume Jen might relocate here after getting some unwanted media attention due to her condition. Then we see Jen in her She-Hulk form trying to go about her work routine, but finds herself just getting stared at. Even that receptionist snaps a photo. Using the flash with all this great natural lighting? Come on.
Yeah,
Now,
what are you
there's
doing?
been a
What are
lot
you
of chatter
doing?
about the unfinished CGI on She-Hulk and her face in this trailer. I think it was bound to happen. It honestly doesn't bother me as much as it does some of you. It really only strikes me in this one shot of Jennifer looking at her phone. And it's not so much the animation, it's really just the timing and the movement. Notice how her eyes are slightly out of sync with her body as it moves. Like, I get it, they're trying to animate this gesture of Jen reacting to something on her phone and then her eyes gesture to the side, like, what do I do? But they dart as her body is still straightening up, which just feels a little weirdly unnatural. Like, if you were animated in a cartoon, you would do one move after the other. You'd have the back straighten and then the eyes dart to the side. And due to the uncanny valley effect that is encoded in our brains, our minds just weirdly accept more cartoony blocking as more naturalistic, which is why when you watch Pixar animation, they deliberately animate their characters to move more cartoony and slapsticky. Because we grew up watching cartoons, our brains just kind of accept that as natural. That's why they call it the uncanny valley. You have to go a little bit beyond what would be natural movement so that when we watch animated green characters, we just accept it.
I see this as an absolute win.
I will say, I really appreciate that they designed She-Hulk to have proportionately large hands, because remember, Hulk's fists are larger than a human's hands would be compared to the arms. But the problem is you still just don't get a sense of the weight of the phone in her hands, the way that they showed the weight as Hulk pinched the tacos or clutched the sausage rolled in a pancake. Look, again, none of this is that big of a deal, I don't think. They are still rendering all these effects ahead of August, and I definitely don't think this is Sonic level bad. So let's just all chill out, okay?
I mean, it's pretty well known at this point that the VFX companies are down to the wire these days. I'm expecting the effects to be better by the time this show rolls around. And like, will it be 100% better? Maybe, maybe not, but I think it will be better. It didn't upset me or think my arms get thrown up in the air like a lot of people. Yeah, because of the fact that, you know, if you look into it, it's not just some rumor, it's a fact that VFX companies right now are backed up. And so they are, a lot of the things that get released is often like a week before when they finally wrap this up and it's about to release.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing too is this is a trailer, it's showing you these brief glimpses, and I feel like any effect like that that does rest pretty close to a person's likeness will get much better when you have a breathing room of a scene, when your brain has time to process all that. Because in a quick flash, you don't have as much time to process that.
Well, it's like Professor Hulk looks, or Hulk in general, just looks so different than Mark Ruffalo, where she has to look a little bit more akin, just bigger.
Yeah, there's
bigger
less of a caricature aspect, so
Yeah.
it's harder to, it's like you said, they don't go as far beyond the valley, so it's a trickier effect.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I just applaud this series for leaning into the tone of the character She-Hulk, and especially the overt sexuality of the character, something that the comics do not shy away from, as She-Hulk was really an intentionally campy satire of the way comics as a whole would over-sexualize female superheroes. She-Hulk was really the first female superhero to completely own it and make it a joke. This show definitely seems to be embracing that. Like the shot of all the gawkers at the garden party. The woman on the left is the funniest to me. Like, come on, eyes up here, lady. Next clip.
You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
So Jen bursts out of her shoes as someone tries to attack her from behind, her growth lifting him off his feet. This attacker wears an interesting helmet that emits an energy glow. Not sure what this is.
I didn't notice that.
The advanced hardware that Adrian Toomes' crew lifted from Chitauri Tech in Spider-Man Homecoming. Mickey encourages her to join the Avengers as we see She-Hulk and Hulk leaping beside each other on that island in a training montage. And while Hulk hits a superhero landing, I like how Jen does it. She just kind of lands in this less dignified squat with her elbows beneath her knees. Jen tells Nikki that the Avengers are for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans, referring to, well, I guess Tony Stark, who was all of those things. But also, if you think about it, technically T'Challa might be the richest Avenger if you quantify the value of vibranium per ounce. And Peter Parker just lost
show's
the
taking
last
a chance to
of his
stab
original
it.
Guardians. He's kind of an adult orphan. Who exactly are
Trade all your money for vibranium.
And really, anytime Tatiana Maslany says orphan, one cannot help but think of Orphan Black, the series where she showcased her amazing talent. Then, Jen, barefoot and clothes torn, suggesting she was not prepared to Hulk out here, tears across a damaged courtroom toward a foe.
Titania.
The other shot reveals this is Titania, Jamila, Mary McFerrin, She-Hulk's longtime nemesis in the comics. Now, Titania gets powered up by alien technology and has powers that rival Jen's. It looks like she's smashed into this courtroom maybe to interrupt this trial, keep someone from testifying. Her outfit looks wild, something like a pro wrestler.
What's funny to me is that parts of Moon Knight with Layla reminded me of Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984, like a better Egypt version of that. And then parts of this trailer remind me of Wonder Woman 1984 with the parts with Cheetah.
That's what Phase 4 is really about, is just doing better than Wonder Woman
Doing
1984.
the woman stuff better than in 1984.
That's our barn, we gotta clear it.
But then there's a quick shot of this leaping dude. This is the fabulous Frogman, Eugene Patillo, one of the real goofball Marvel characters, son of the leapfrog, Vincent Patillo. Eugene takes on his dad's frog costume. He adds these spring coils so that it can leap 6 stories in the air. He's shown up with Spider-Man and the Human Torch, as well as the Avengers in various comics. I just want to give a huge congrats to longtime Frogman stan MT for Frogman finally getting his MCU debut.
MT.
Another one of Jen's cases. We get a quick shot of Abomination hulking out in his containment cell, ripping out of his inmate jumpsuit. As in Shang-Chi, the character has been redesigned from the 2008 film to better match his comic appearance. He now has fins on the side of his head, and as he bumps his head, the red glow flashes over that container cell, meaning this cell may be equipped to shock him with pain whenever he tries to hulk out of it. Then on to the last clip.
Like
Is there
Superman.
anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
This is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh.
Should we split some fries?
Let's get those to go.
So Jen swipes through a dating app on her phone, Matcher, and I like how she swipes right on everyone. And there's some great Easter eggs here, of course. Scott, dog lover, 8 miles away. Grant, jump rope king, 12 miles away. Oh, you're trying to be clever there, Grant. Nick, DJ, 60 miles away. Noah, director, 24 miles away. Nice scarf, Noah. But my favorite is Truck, local cutie, 32 miles away. Not exactly local, but this is actually a cameo by series creator Jessica Gao's partner, artist Truck Torrance, and their cat Admiral Whiskers. Truck and the cat are wearing little captain's hats to salute the Admiral. So sweet of Jessica to get her local cutie in there. Now the other names she swipes through that we see from reverse are Bryce, Charles, Chris, Kevin, Feige, and Derek. And then we see a few of these dates, including Derek, who flexes. This is actually WWE wrestler David Ortunga, but she ends the night with his other hunk taking those fries to go.
And the guy from Miracle Workers.
Carrying the beefcake back to her room as his foot knocks the lamp. Again, folks, a hard yes to more sexual liberation. A rock hard yes.
Disney Plus is gonna go so hard on that sexual liberation.
You thought we were gonna get violence in the MCU, but nope, we're just gonna get more and more titillation.
Yo, man, if you thought they were pushing boundaries with gay moms, you ain't seen nothing yet. They're gonna go to the bedroom and then they're gonna fade to black.
You remember that love scene in Eternals? Well, get ready for almost that. Again, Phase 4 is the thirst phase.
You guys ain't seen shit.
Because otherwise, this MCU, until an eternal sex scene, was completely puritanical. We never got any sex in the MCU. Sex is a normal part of adult life. It's okay to have it. I'm super excited.
Are you sure?
I'm waiting till I'm a senior.
And maybe not even then.
Rockstarsmerch.com. Comment down below with your thoughts on all this. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars. Subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Good job, Eric and the editors. Eric and the editors.
Eric and the editors, this Friday at your local pub.
Guys, it's great. I'm excited for She-Hulk, despite the fact it has the shittiest VFX I've ever seen in my entire existence on this planet.
Guard my eyeballs.
Guys, subscribe to New Rockstars. Keep a lookout for when we start covering this show. You can skip everything else until August. Let's do a page. Rosa Parra. My God, this show is about a strong woman. Physically, emotionally, mentally. That's you, Rosa Parra. I'd like you to pick me up and take me to the bedroom. Then when you go to lay me down, you go, wait a minute, you're not John. You're the other guy. Where's John? Then you throw me through the ceiling, falling onto your front lawn. Then you go stampeding through the streets, knocking cars out of the way, fine John, rip him out of his bedroom after there's a hole-shaped Rosa in the wall, and then you pick it up, take him back to your bedroom as you're carrying him like this in front of you, and then you throw him on the bed, and then you make love to him and go, Rosa Parra gets the man she wants. While I'm out your lawn crying, your kids are like, Mama, what are you doing? Because you're Italian now. And I'm like, go away, children. It's okay. Mama just wants to make a love to a different man.
She making me cry.
She making me cry. Nobody want to make a love to me.
Hulk nut.
Rosa, thanks for being a strong female presence and rejecting me in the process.